What's going on, folks? King of the Dead here, and look, we're late, I know, but this is what the price we pay. I got all of them back. I'm here with Asente Jinsui, Leo the Madman, and Cruel Joyd, and we're back for the final episode of Invincible Season 2. And before we get into what everybody wants to talk about, I just have a small, only applies to Deadman pet peeve. I wanted to explore those dinosaurs a little bit more. They're dinosaurs, they come from a world with no people, and they're talking. They're like, I've never seen a Homo sapien that can talk. What's going on there? I would like to explore that universe. You just drop that on me and then nothing ever again.
You know, it's funny you should mention that. That is my first note here. I love those dinosaurs, and I too would have liked to stay there just a smidgen more, just a few seconds more. I like how sophisticated they sound. Why can he hear them? Or were they telepathic, or did he have a chip in his head?
What do you mean? They were speaking out loud.
They were just talking dinosaurs.
Were they? Their mouths weren't moving.
Oh, yes,
I thought
were.
They were like
yes,
talking.
they were.
They opened. They just didn't.
It's a dinosaur, so it can only open and close. You only do so much with animation.
That is
they don't
fair,
have lips.
They don't have lips.
Or normal functioning tongues. All right, now moving on from that. Everybody and their mother. I got faked out like 12 times with, oh, did you know Spider-Man's in the last episode? They did the Spider-Man bit. They're doing Spider-Man. Who the fuck is that?
Bro, it's Spider-Man. What are you talking about?
No,
That's
it is not.
Closest we're gonna get.
That's Spider-Man. You don't know what Spider-Man looks like?
So you know
For
how
all
Disney
you know,
with
that
their,
is Spider-Man for all intents and purposes.
the Disney and the copyright, the mouse will just kill you. This is the only way we can get Spider-Man and Invincible without the mouse killing us. That is why
The mouse does not own Spider-Man. Sony owns Spider-Man.
Well, then
Cares
Sony
about
then
what the mouse
the
says.
copyright was
I
gonna
very
come
much
after
care
us.
about what the mouse says. I'm very scared of the mouse.
You ought to be afraid of
I
the
am
mouse.
too.
The mouse will take your ass down so quickly.
Yeah, bro. You would be wise to fear the mouse.
CJ,
A wise man fears the mouse. You know, back before my balls dropped, I was able to do a pretty crackerjack Mickey Mouse impersonation. Never again. Now I sound like whenever there's a burly main character, there's a burly character in the cartoon, he has a sister that he voices, so he just makes his voice slightly more girly. That's what my Mickey Mouse sounds like. So I'm not even gonna attempt that.
Cruel.
Oh golly.
The mouse unironically lives rent-free in my head.
Oh golly.
Like I do like the joke he makes of like he sees Invincible fly out of a portal. He knows full well. Is like, look, I get it. You're from another dimension. I see a lot of that, especially lately. That's a good crack.
Mm-hmm.
We are the era of Spider-Man we're going to be in for the next like 30 years of cinema is going to be the multiverse. Okay, Spider-Verse ruined it. That's just what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Also, not to mention this, I'm also the good guy. Please believe me. But there's an old man on the ground, and you look like you're beating him
man.
up. You literally
have
just
red
threw him,
eyes.
did you not?
Yo, he's like, my thing's like, look at this Spider-Man. You look evil. You look like an evil version of Spider-Man. But does that look like a good old man to you?
He fights so many old men. There's no way that he immediately said, well, he's old, he's got to be the good guy.
That is another
His dad, Gearhead, what's his name? Doc Seismic. Every other old man you meet tries to kill you, but he's like, "Oh, I can't beat up an old man. What are you doing? Like, you're beating up this old man." And I'm glad you got greeted immediately getting choked out like the bitch you are, right there. That stupid shit right there.
And his one of his excuses, like, but bro, you've got red eyes. Obviously, you're the villain. Like, that's how he sees my guy. It helps
But
with
like,
his eyes.
on to
This
like
is a costume that makes sense.
this costume is era appropriate, I swear. But like on to Angstrom. I don't care what the TV says. Angstrom Levy. I really enjoy this villain. Like I like his demeanor, how he looks grotesque, but still gives off like a certain like evil like vibe, like a composure to it. I like how you can see like because he's a bunch of different versions of himself smashed into one. That he's always like switching, like mid-sentence, his entire composure will just switch. And he'll go from, shh, he wasn't talking to you. It's like, if you want to do me a favor, Invincible, then die. To, I'm the good guy here, I'm the good guy, and then cry, and then switch back into, oh yeah, it's you versus me. Like he'll switch in mid-sentence, and I like, that's a good touch to add.
And I just love how with all these variants mushed into one, they really went after the one mark that was good, that rebelled against the Viltrumites.
I think in the comic, they make it seem like he just holds a grudge because this is the mark that got him. But in this one, it's like his head's not quite right. He doesn't believe you that this is the only good Invincible. He just thinks he hasn't, just because he hasn't turned evil yet, or not even that he hasn't turned evil yet, he thinks this one's evil act is what you did to me. So you look what you did to me, which means you're just like the rest of them. And then like he gets his memories jumbled. Like he just keeps smashing together. Like, but this Mark is good, is he? And he starts remembering this other Mark that choked his son to death or broke his son's head or whatever in front of him. And this Mark who killed his wife. And this Mark who had a fucking concentration camp where he just knocks their heads off for no reason. Like, he's not right in the head. And I really do appreciate that.
Can we talk about the fact that why is Mark's gimmick leaving him alive? Why did they show like 17 scenarios? And in each of the scenarios, he would specifically leave him alive.
Yeah,
I have to answer this.
Go on.
Right before Mark or Omni-Man or whoever goes to kill him, you remember he was recruiting himself. So every time they got close, right before he kills him, a portal would show up and snatch him away. We see this when Omni-Man is like, "Hey, Mark, hurry it up. That last bunch of victims just made us miss lunch." And he's like, "Okay," and he goes to grab him, and then he falls into a portal.
But that's the one we see,
question.
though. Okay, go ahead.
New question in that case, why is Angstrom Levy specifically waiting for all of their family and friends to be dead before he saves them?
I'm saying, why can't you take his wife or child once or twice? It's always just wait for absolute despair. All right, join the team, buddy.
All right, join the team.
Join the team.
Another thing, as soon as he gets there, he sets off an EMP, which is an electromagnetic pulse, by the way. Just, I went to school, I went to college, and he's all like, "We can't have any of your friends joining us." Cecil, my dog, all you ever talk about is how you know everything and you're on top of everything. You've said to his face, you have bugs in y'all's house. I don't understand how this was able to happen and you not do or say anything about it.
See, I have a theory about that. So, you know how, like, Levi fucking broke Debbie's arm and all that, and Mark got sent to a whole nother dimension and shit, and then Cecil stepped in? Mm-hmm. I believe that Cecil did that on purpose so he could make it seem like they needed him.
What?
You know? Because, like, you know when he's like...
Oh, because he keeps trying to pressure her to give up Oliver?
Yeah.
I think that... I don't think... I wouldn't put it past him, but I just don't think that's what they're going with here.
So, a side thing I want to talk about right quick.
Go on.
As we know... Mark came through one of the portals and hit Levy with like a gun.
Nope, fuck you. No, we're not doing it. Nope, we're not doing it. Moving on. Nope, moving on.
We're not doing it.
We're not. Fuck you. Muted. Muted.
You won't get away with it.
Nope, muted. Batman. Later, he's talking to Batman, and Invincible's all like, "I mean, you're a bat. You're just as a bat, and you're a man. Like, don't you think that's kind of lazy?" I have 3 notes here, Mark. Rexsplode, Monster Girl. And I want you to really pay attention to this one. Robot.
Don't forget yourself.
Like
Invincible.
And like immortal. Knockout. In fact, I'm allowed to believe the only 2 semi-creative superhero names here are Black Samson and Shapesmith. The rest of you, go ahead.
Hear me out. I will defend Immortal and Invincible only because, as dumb as those names are, it's kind of iconic that they chose words, and at least it doesn't like immediately tell you what their weaknesses are. Like Robot as a name, it just sounds like you should hit him with an EMP. That's
well, wouldn't it be your first thing to do when you're fighting a robot or an electric?
But okay, but like
losing an opponent.
Maybe you don't know. Maybe you think that it's Iron Man, and then maybe he just like pops out of that.
Right now, it is Iron Man.
Yeah, like Black Samson for a minute was in a metal suit, and then he just pops out and fights you normal. Maybe that doesn't beat you, but like as the name Robot, I think that I figure out your gimmick is just that you're a robot.
You're just well, check this out. All right, that's 1 down. The brains are down.
1 down.
Yeah, man. I have a question. Are we allowed to talk about stuff that's mainly like revealed in the comics, but you know what's happening in the animation?
Only I'm allowed to do that. All right, go ahead.
Talk about it.
I'll give you 1. Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to talk about when they send Mark back and the robot dude takes his helmet off, and he's like, so we remember when we talked about not fucking up the space-time continuum? And she says, "Shut up, Rex. That is not Rex. That is Rudy." And if you read the comics, you know that in one of these universes, one of the Marks kills Rex. and to honor Rex, Rudy takes on his name. So that is not Rex. That is indeed Rudy. And I kind of like that. I like that they added
What
that.
I don't understand about that scene is that's Alex Mantzoukas, our Rex, talking. So you telling me, so the dude who voices Rudy, different character, with a deeper voice than our rexsplode, is somehow going to grow into rexsplode's voice?
I mean, he did take his DNA.
Okay, but like, I just feel like if we see our Rex, if they do the backstory between Adam Eve and rexsplode, we see our Rex when he was younger, is that what he's going to sound like?
Yep.
All right, well, when you put it like that. All right, so we get one of my favorite moments in the comics. Mark beats the fucking beats the fucking daylights out of Angstrom Levy, and I love that scene. I love how you can see him like sort of like raging his way through it. Like, don't talk about my family. He's just wailing on him, and I just want to point out, I think, like I said, we're late recording this, so I've been spoiled a little bit by like Twitter and shit. Media literacy is in the fucking mud nowadays. Because why do I have like 10 viral tweets on my For You page of people saying, oh yeah, I really thought that scene was him saying, like, oh look how weak you are. Like, oh god, I thought you were stronger than that, huh? Like, I didn't know he was like meant to be like a sorrowful moment. Are you stupid?
Honestly. Like, even
His whole thing is that he doesn't want to kill
dumb.
anybody, but then he just accidentally kills somebody.
The next panel is him on the ground being like, oh god. I don't know why I made it sound like that, but that's what, like, he's freaking out. Like, what the fuck do you mean he was bragging? I just don't. But I think that line delivery
is going into a full-blown bragging moment with his hands in it. Wait, with his face in his palms, almost about to weep, saying, I thought he was stronger.
I just imagine that it's the exact same population of people who are mad when Bakugo was like, when Bakugo gave his apology and they were like, I thought that we were seen. What do you mean you were seen? what are you talking about? Your personality trait is being an asshole.
Also, when Cecil like is talking to Mark when he finally gets back to the dimension and he's like saying, it's like, you're not him. I didn't know what they were talking about until I rewatched the beating. The fucking combo he gives Levi is
what
same
Omni-Man
combo.
does in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. No, the same combo that he gave Mark. That's why
they're
like,
based off of that. It's based off of that event.
Okay,
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I'm so fucking hooked on Mortal Kombat lately. I didn't even think about. Oh, that's right. He laid down the ass whooping on you, and then you laid down the ass whooping on Levi.
And that's why he started panicking. It's like, but that's why he's like, you're not your dad, and that's why he's like, you weren't there, you didn't see. That's what he meant. Like he was giving those same combos.
I don't even know if I'd be able to put the picture of what he did to that man on the screen from the comic book. That shit is grotesque.
Oh my god, I did see it from the comic strip.
One thing I do like, I gotta say about the wrap up of this episode is that for an episode titled "I Thought You Were Stronger," I thought this would be the main event. I went in thinking, I'm gonna guess he's gonna beat him, and the last line of the season is gonna be, "I thought you were stronger," and then like it's like a what's Invincible gonna do next season, and he's like left on that planet. When they like wrap, and he's like back home and it's all done, and this episode's not even halfway over, I thought, well, what are we gonna do for the rest of this? You gonna give me my suit? Do I get my fucking black and blue suit? But no, that's been them spending half an episode just sort of wrapping it up. Like, nice little bow on. He gets closure with his mom. He decides to drop out of college. He sees Amber one last time. We see what's going on between Alan and Nolan. And it ends with him like sort of embracing Eve, not as lovers, but as like friends who like seemingly just got each other back, or like just went through the hard times. Not that Eve did much this season, but went through hard times together, and now they're just, let's just rewind the clock back. We feel like basically we're new superheroes again, Eve and Invincible. I think that is a really good way to end it. Like, I think that it reminds me when I was a kid again, and like at the end of every episode, the superheroes always find a way, and you leave with like a warm feeling in your chest. That felt good. Oh, speaking of Alan and Nolan, there's a part that fucking killed me. Whenever Alan's like, "You and me gotta break out of here. We gotta join the war. I met your son," and he's like, "No, I deserve death." Alan's like, "Oh my god." It's like one of those.
Get that in time. Get that in time. Just not yet.
God damn it, bro. It's not an emo.
Also, Kate's alive?
Yes, Kate is. Ace was right. Half right. Kate is alive. She just had an extra cologne. Me and CJ knew that. We couldn't spoil it. She just had an extra one. Whenever I made a crack, I said, the number one Kate should never leave the house. Yeah, that's what happened. She hasn't left the house in a while.
Yeah, literally ever.
Then we got Kate back, but no confirm on what's going on with Shrinking Ray.
She's in ICU, intensive care unit. She better make it.
Save baby girl, dog. Hashtag save Shrinking Ray.
Hashtag no point in killing her off.
All right, now my last note is actually a complaint because I've been risking my manhood and my integrity, whining about this. What was the point of the title card setting up the black and blue suit if we're just not getting it this season?
To get your hopes up.
Talk one at a time.
To get your hopes up. Because
Fuck, I shouldn't let you talk.
The only
Leo?
people who know that represents a suit are the people who read the comic books. Everybody else is just like,
Billy just said,
what does that
fuck
mean?
y'all.
Well, the
I
good thing
low-key
is
thought they
you'll
were gonna
read
have
it
Eve
next
do it.
season.
I thought MILF Eve, Cougar Eve was gonna give it to him, but no. By the way, I like my cameos. There's a lot of characters that we're just not gonna get because they just don't have the licensing to it. So we're not gonna get Brit. I really like Brit. So that sucks. We're not gonna get the Wolf Corps. We're not gonna get we're probably not gonna get Tech Jacket, which really infuriates me. But I'll talk about that at like different time. But I'm glad we got a little nod at Knockout and Kid Thor, which is just a woman that punches really good and a man with a big ass sledgehammer that can charge lightning, and they're married. And I think he low-key tries to cheat on his wife with Monster Girl at one point. It's funny. I like those two. All right, that's all I got, boys. Anything else y'all got? Tell me if y'all got more notes.
You're just gonna add that last bit in? Really?
What?
Tries to cheat on his wife with Monster Girl.
Yeah, what's the
Don't
problem?
worry about that, dog. Yeah, what's the problem?
What's the issue? I'm saying, like, I want y'all to tell me any notes you have left, and how y'all feel about this series, Robert? How y'all feel about this season as a unit? My own, like I said, my only two complaints are, why didn't I get my black? Why are you teasing the black and blue suit if we're not going to do it? And y'all could have done more with Eve as far as, like, I understand y'all were setting up shit in the background, but Eve could have been more part of the overarching plot here. Like, she could have, I don't know, y'all could have done more shit here. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's like, don't tease my black and blue suit if I'm not going to get it, and y'all could have done a little bit more with Eve. Other than that, amazing season.
What I say about the Eve part is, imagine if they probably omitted Eve just so Amber could leave out not being an a-hole. Because apparently, according to y'all, everything that happened with Amber and Mark did not happen in the comic books.
Not quite. Not really at all.
So they probably was just like, oh yeah, let's not make Amber just seem like the worst person in the world, and we'll actually give her redeeming factors, and then in the show, in her arc.
On the other hand, she has been getting eaten alive by Twitter for the last 3 years.
Yeah, she is in fact a horrible person.
Don't y'all ever talk shit about Eve again. I promise. Don't you ever in your life. You would take all this hatred for Eve. God in heaven, please take all this Eve slander and give it to Shrinking Ray.
Hey, yo, no, back up.
And on that note, we're done. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for watching and listening. Thank you, Ace, CJ, and Leo for coming out. We're done with this. I think we'll be back with Velma. So I like my y'all could really like the weekly reviews. Oh no, that's it. Y'all have enough time to talk. You've already had our weekly reviews. We're coming back in a week or two with Velma. Thank you all for watching. Love you all to death. King of the Dead signing off.
I alone have witnessed the eclipse. I alone have behold its majesties. I see through the fate of the universe. I am the one who sees.